good morning, or in Terraria's case, good night. So, something to get out of the way first. I'm doing a Terraria stream because I haven't streamed in a bit. Honestly, feel bad about that. But I've been having some issues with streaming lately. One of the issues being, I can't stream Monster Hunter World anymore. I have no clue why. I tried doing a couple of fixes, just playing around, seeing if it was settings wise, but the only thing I haven't done is lower the graphical settings of Monster Hunter World to the lowest possible, or at least the lowest preset. And I don't know why, but it is just this choppy slideshow, and I've tried limiting the stream's bandwidth, but that didn't work. And I've tried my best. I've genuinely tried my best to figure out why Monster Hunter World doesn't want to stream. And it's Monster Hunter World alone, out of the 2 games that I've streamed. Terraria seems to be fine, but then again, for my computer, it doesn't seem to be that demanding. And I read that part of the issue I've experienced could be CPU based, or is 100% CPU based, and my computer just can't process the stream as well as the game, so it's prioritizing the game, and the stream is just being left on the wayside. I really don't like that, and would love to fix it. So, if in any way, shape, or form I could get some advice, I'd appreciate it, and any help would also be appreciated. For now, I'm going to attempt to get some more work done in Terraria to make up for not streaming for a while, as well as for not being able to stream Monster Hunter World. And I'm very sad because on my last attempt at Monster Hunter World, I played very poorly, and I was in no way fun or amusing. I was aggravated and only getting more aggravated as time went on. So, for right now, I want to do something I'd enjoy. As well, I would like to try and get more done for this. So, to catch up on a couple of the things I did to prepare for hard mode, a while back I said I worked on a mob spawning area. I want to get that done soon. As well, I want to get the desert set up and a bit better, so I'm going to be reworking the building here. The jungle I've done some work on. It's not complete yet. The painter hasn't moved into their home yet because I haven't finished it. I found where the meteors spawned. Turns out only 2 spawned. I need to get a potion brewing area, or general potion ingredients area, set up. And I need some trophies before hard mode, where doing certain bosses will be more difficult considering that I'll have to deal with a couple of hard mode enemies at the same time if, say, the solar eclipse happened. I don't want to do that. As well, I need to make sure I have a safe area to do a lot of grinding in. So, namely, I need to upgrade my arena, take on the old one's army, get whatever trophies I haven't gotten from pre-hard mode bosses, and of course, do a bit more work on the Wall of Flesh runway before fighting it. and I've done a bit of extra work on grinding some materials that are a bit difficult. Mostly it was 2 dyes in the ocean, and it's not that great. My system is mostly based on I needed an item and I didn't need much of it. As well, for the character I'm playing, I wanted to take them more in a melee direction, and that has been good. I enjoy using melee, but in looking back at my previous stream, I ended up going with the bow more for Skeletron Prime since I didn't have much of a way of doing anything. At least any damage that was safe for me to do. I generally play Terraria with ranged characters or summoners. So, everything besides melee. And I could go with Yo-Yo to have a chance at just keeping myself safe. And in that case, I wouldn't need the Feral Claws. And honestly, the Bone Glove probably wouldn't be that good for Yo-Yos. And I am fine with making a change. The only downside is I don't have a powerful Yo-Yo to use besides the Valor. So if I am to change over to a Yo-Yo focus, I need to get some stuff done first. Namely, unequipping those 2 melee accessories for standard melee, moving some stuff around on my accessory slot, and putting away the second Sun Fury I have, as well as selling the prior one that I have. So, I now have a Valor. I'm going to put Knight's Edge in the chest. And now, I need to go into the underground and get a counterweight, since I never got one, as I didn't see a reason to get one. Unless I already have one that I got just in case. But I doubt that I did. And from a quick glance, it looks like I didn't. So, the other thing is, I want to grab the Obsidian Shield, because either way I'm getting the 2 defense. The only difference is I don't have the charge with the Shield of Cthulhu. So the Obsidian Shield should be fine to have. And I learned that I can, in fact, get a Bezoar pre-hard mode. I never thought about it. Mostly because I didn't really think that you could get a Bezoar early. I always thought it was exclusively a hard mode item from the bees in the jungle. And with that, I never attempted. But turns out it's just a very rare drop from the Hornets. So, let me just grab some green dye, because if I'm going to be using the yo-yo, I might as well properly make it my own. Plus, I don't believe the string I created had a modifier, and creating a color string gives me a second chance. Sadly, the colored string doesn't actually change the color of the string. At least it's not showing me that it's changed color. So, first things first, I need that, and about 10 of those. I can't really remember what that does, but I'm not going to worry about it. Grab a pig. Put those in there. Oh yeah, I have the abominations and suspicious looking eyes. All I need now is a clother doll so that then I can resummon Skeletron a bunch. And I need to use a gravitation potion to go to a floating island to make corruption. Because with the Dryad in the world, there is a way to get her to sell the opposite corruption item. I can't remember exactly how I get her to sell it. I just know that I can. And honestly, my wood stock is low. So instead of teleporting directly over to the Dryad, I'm just going to walk over, chopping and replanting the trees that I can find along the way. Aside from the nice ones at the village. I put those there for a reason, and it's solely to look nice. As well as the one on the hill. I wanted to do something with this hill, and I'm thinking maybe a tower that extends a fair ways down as a new elevator. But I'm not really sure. This is always something I like in Terraria. No matter how far into the game you progress, you're always going to need base materials. Oh, and a lot of the time I spent building the underground area next to the underworld. I kept finding a bunch of special animals that I didn't even know existed. So that was really interesting that gem animals will spawn underground. And I'm not sure if that's caused by there being NPCs there, or if it's caused by me just staying down there for long enough. Either way, it's interesting. And out of everything, for the desert, I have it on this site since I didn't like the desert over here, since it was so close to the dungeon. And normally the dungeon's close enough to the edge of the world's ocean biome that having the ocean biome be the transport for the dungeon is better in my opinion, but technically you have to then scale the dungeon from the left side. Oh yeah, I can show off my jungle area. So I don't like how I have the pylon just in the center of everything and it's not organically integrated. And not everything is done. I have to do a lot of painting. Hold on a moment, my dog wants to come in. Okay, and back. So, I do have to say, I switched from OBS to Streamlabs OBS. And I'm just using a preset until further notice. But for right now, I need to talk to the Dryad to see about a couple of things I need. Namely, I do need the planters. Normally I get 10 each. And I can never remember what the trigger is for getting her to sell the planters. Like, I can see that... oh man, I can't believe I'm forgetting it now. The fire plant in the underworld. I don't see that here, and I assume it's because I haven't defeated the Wall of Flesh yet. But let me just quickly check on... how to get the Dryad to sell the alternate Corruption Crimson Seed. I can't remember, because one is called the Corruption, I always think, well, then the blanket term for both biomes can't be Corruption. And I'm not sure if that's correct in that they both aren't called of the Corruption, or not the Corruption, but just Corruption, and to make things simple. But if they are, then okay. So let's figure out okay. So I found world status stuff. I just need to find out about items sold. Bio powder and vicious powder, which I can get during Corrupt World Crimson. But I need Corrupt Seed. Okay, so I can't get the other biome, so that makes Eater Worlds a hard mode exclusive boss for Crimson Worlds, and Brain of Cthulhu the opposite. So that was a bit of a waste. And I need to be in a graveyard. So at least I know now. Need to get this. I think I got the hat, I'm not sure. Don't really care enough. To buy it anyway. Besides, I bought the funeral pants since I need something to go with the chest piece. So that goes in there. Oh yeah, I figured out how to make the special contest armors. And I didn't think they would be made on the loom. Honestly, I'm a bit of an idiot for not thinking that. So, I got these because I wanted to see how they looked in-game. Since I'd only ever seen the concept images for some, and I didn't really know if they had been designed any differently in-game, so I wanted to see, and for the ones that made it in, I wanted to see how they looked with other armors or some of the accessories he's on, so that then I could make some nice looking sets. Anyway, I need to... grab the Eyes of Cthulhu. Or, the suspicious-looking eyes. And even though I don't have a counterweight, I can at least grab the stinger necklace I have. So that then I can fight the Eye of Cthulhu. And just do my best. Okay, do I have it on me? Nope. Okay, this is a bad idea to try and do right now. Okay. Damn. Give me time. I just need to keep these on me at some point. I usually don't have them on me because I'm more concerned with looting. Even though I'm in molten armor, I want to try and take as little damage as possible. Okay, you're going to spontaneously. Oh, I dislike enemies that charge so much. There we are. Okay, that's one down. Thankfully, the trophy doesn't spawn in the bag, so I don't have to open the bag to see. It is still a 10% chance from what I can remember. Okay, so already at phase 2 with a bit more focus. Let's see if I can make phase 2 go fast. Well, already going to be charging a bunch. This is why I need to update the arena. I wouldn't be able to fight the twins effectively in this kind of arena. Besides, I mostly fight the twins by having a long walkway. So I'm very sorry if you really hate the sounds the Eye of Cthulhu makes. But my goal is to get all of the trophies. Since that's something I've never done in Terraria before. Okay, I've lost the passive damage of the friction. I do also need to work on getting the money to reforge a lot of stuff. Which, honestly, just taking care of all the Eye of Cthulhu's and using them to the nations I have is a way of getting that money. Oh, stop, you spaz. You aren't even the spaz. Okay. On to number 4. If I didn't have the yo-yo string, that would be a pain, since I'd have such a reduced range. At least, that's what I remember the string doing. There's the trophy that I wanted. I kind of wish the trophies gave you something more. Not just a, oh yeah, I beat the boss, yay, kind of thing. Like a proper, okay, you beat the boss and got the trophy. Here's a bonus of let's just say, some extra damage if you fight the boss next to the trophy, either next time. Meaning, grinding bosses would be made easier, and its drop rate would then have some extra meaning. Like, oh yeah, you beat the boss enough, and if you decide to grind it more, well, congrats, you now have an item that gives you extra damage and defense against the boss. So, say, first attempt of Moonlord. Oh, well that was a waste. Okay. Yeah, this is a great way of making money. And if I could get something different than lucky, since although crit chance is nice, I don't care about crit chance. I would like to reforge what I can. And I should make the Crimtane ore into bars. So let me just go and do that. I went one too high. Okay, made all of it into bars. I could make it into stuff. I don't believe I made the artery, so I might as well do that, and I would love to showcase the main weapons of whatever run I'm doing. But I've never really had a chance to do that, and unless something changed, I remember that certain weapons can't be placed on the display racks. And to my knowledge, that is just the whips. And throwing weapons. Oh yeah. Pig, enchanted night crawlers. If I had a star cannon, I'd be pretty okay for ammo. So now, I keep forgetting to sell the damn zombie arm. Oh yeah, I didn't realize that the party girl doesn't sell clever blocks until hard mode, or she's not had a reason to sell them. I genuinely can't remember everything about this game, so I just try and make do. Oh yeah, since I've already summoned the imp, as long as I don't die, I don't need it, and I honestly don't use the Crimson Rod all that much. It helps, but I don't use it. Take the flame lash out, same with an aqua scepter and a flower fire. The adept flame lash as well. I'm only worried about having one of each weapon, since why would I ever bring one of these into another character's run? And if I'm never going to use them, why keep them? With the exception, obviously, being just one, since I want to collect as many as possible. So, for now, I will harvest up the wood I have here, and for the time, I will head down and work more on the mob farm area, since I need to accomplish two main goals with it. I need to build out the left side so that it is completed. As well, I need to wait for night to fall before fighting any more bosses, aside from the tainted biome bosses. aside from them and King Slime, no other bosses can be fought at any time of the day before Wall of Flesh. I would love to be proven wrong, since then I learned something new. Oh, and the other thing that I have to take care of. I mean, lighting up the platforms would be something nice. But I see it as... it's not really a waste. It doesn't hinder mob spawns. It's just slightly irritating to, like, well, building. And of course I have the banners up on the main platform, since no sense in having my summon have to work harder to keep me safe. Besides, my memory of building this was using a shine potion. To light up everything. So, honestly, it's better for me to spend the time to light it up. I mean, no sense in keeping myself in the dark, as well as you guys, since even though I've watched back a stream of Terraria and saw not really anything, and most of it is just, I'm not too sure, since there are points where it does look darker than what I can see. And I'm not exactly sure why that is. Oh, and I need to properly cut out any spawning ground in the above section. And I'm not exactly sure if that means that I'll be able to farm black recluses once hard mode starts. Because of that spider biome above the mob farm. I do need to put in a volcano trap, as well as find some more dark traps to put at the end, hook up to a timer so that then I can get mimics to just get moving, since I didn't think about having that set up. The only problem with working in a mob farm, I didn't build any sort of shut-off switch, or... Oh, no. As soon as I realized the skeleton merchant spawned, he's dead. Well, no use crying over a merchant who I can't purchase stuff from. Or in the case of everything I do in Oblivion, case their shop to steal from later. I'm pretty sure I have a problem when it comes to Oblivion and kleptomania. I'm not sure why. It just seems to be my go-to response for a lot of NPCs in Oblivion. Just, unless there are repercussions for me taking from you, like unavoidable repercussions, then your stuff's fair game. And, I mean, for Oblivion, I do play a thief. Or just a general stealth character. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with playing a thief in, like, an Elder Scrolls game. It all just comes down to, do you enjoy what you play? If you don't, then maybe you should find something else that you do enjoy. But if you do, then just keep enjoying it. At least I can take all of that wiring and get some free actuators. Which is a nice thing, since I hadn't bought any actuators yet. And honestly, if I can avoid spending any unnecessary purchases, sorry, if I can avoid making any unnecessary purchases, then I'm pretty sure I am going to quickly make up any cash that I could end up needing. So, to increase mob spawn rate, I either need to fill in the area and... Okay, so if I want to farm black recluses, then I would need to stand in the wall of the spider biome. That was always something I wondered about. Did they spawn because of the walls? Or did they spawn because I was standing in front of the walls? And it seems to be a 50-50. They need the wall, almost no matter what. But 50% of the time it seems that they spawn irregardless, just as long as I'm close enough. But the other time they only seem to spawn if I am directly standing at a wall. So I'm going to assume it's proximity to the wall that causes the spawn, rather than the wall itself. But I did have a farm that I wasn't standing next to the wall. Oh, I was actually fairly distant to it. But they still spawned. Then again, it was like 2 to 3 biomes on top of each other. So that could just be, it was such a large amount that they just naturally spawned because there was so much of an opportunity for them to spawn. Okay. Now, with a lot of that done, I would love to light this side up. Oh, wait, not there. I'm trying to keep lighting even with, like, one in-between spot of dark. Since it seems like I can't place torches there as it sees it as bright enough, and I won't worry about that. Just less resources for me to have to use up. And out of things, I'm not sure if a backing wall is ever required for anything besides stopping mobs from spawning. Or at least hindering their spawn. Okay, so with this, I will quickly replace each spot there and then build out a bottom area. Now this is where I could consider adding lights, but I'm not overly worried. The thing I need to do is get the right side of of my elevator cleared out. At least the section that's directly connected to this spot. And I'm mostly using the platform there to separate block types, because I like how the ending texture of the Dynasty Wood looks. Okay, with that done, I probably still need to do more clearing out of the bottom and sides, as well as just open up there. But I'll do that with explosives. Now, I need... I need some lava. Thankfully, I already have some lava, but I only have a single bucket. Now, having a elevator just means I can get lava whenever I need. And even better, I don't have to waste any time with... Sorry. I don't have to waste any time in actually heading down. Once again, sorry. I'm kind of distracted. It's since I've been having sleeping problems lately, and my dog's being adorable. Oh, but also wanting to head out, so be right back. And I'm back. Oh, hello, Warlock1707. Sorry for not responding. I've been getting things mixed up. And sadly, the stream chat for OBS Labs, Streamlabs OBS is to the far right, and it's not in my peripheral vision. I'll try and be better at looking over at chat. So let's just head back to the game. Oh, I need to put the actuators away since I don't really need them taking up space. More of Cthulhu so that then I can get some money. The next boss that I need to take on for a trophy would be Slime King, or King Slime. And that shouldn't be too difficult. I would just... The only problem would be making the summoning token. He's usually pretty easy to fight, and I'm doing poorly with my shield dash. Since I try and use the shield of Cthulhu if I can really avoid damage, so just use the iframes you get from that to avoid whatever damage I would take. Okay, next one. If I get a second trophy, that'll be nice. Since, hey, 10% chance to get it. Why not showcase it in one of the NPC's houses? besides, for some bosses that I have to grind later, like, Pantera is going to be a big one for me to have to grind against. Since she'll have maybe one or two things that I want. Like, I'll want the pygmy staff since that's just a good staff. I really wish I had a faster way of attacking, or at least some way of making this easier. I do wish the string explained a bit more about the range of the yo-yo. I know there was a way to tell what the range of the yo-yo was. And generally, the harder it is to obtain, it's, what, longer range, or more damage it has more range. Then again, that's usual progression. Like, obviously, the Terrarian has the better stats out of all the yo-yos since you get it normal. But it's always hard for me to tell with something like the yo-yo how effective it is, since it's an interesting weapon, but a weird one to try and figure out. Okay, this one's going to be the last Eye of Cthulhu for this night cycle. If I am lucky, I'll be able to defeat it before day. Since already at roughly half health, or just below half health. So, after setting up the volcano in the underground lava farm, the main thing I need to get done next would be to improve the arena. And when did I get 2 trophies? Well, my perception is as it usually is. Absolutely terrible. But hey, I won't scoff at 2 Eye of Cthulhu's. I'm going to put them in the banners chest for now, since I don't really know where else to put them. 2 Eye of Cthulhu left, and then I get one of the slots from the pig back. I just need to move as much of this as possible over to a safe, rather than just being stuck in the pig. Since I use the pig more for looting, since it's easier to carry around, since I have the money trough. Besides, there are a lot of points where I find having the safe isn't easiest. Oh. Finally, some firefly spawn. I've been waiting for them to spawn since... Oh, I forget what the set's called. The Wandering Samurai A set from the creation contest. That requires fireflies to make. And ever since I figured that out, I haven't had any fireflies spawning. Normally, I find them everywhere, and they're my normal source of bait for fishing. But apparently, they become nearly impossible to find. And I need 9 from the looks of it. I mean, I have a firefly statue, and I Why am I not using the firefly statue? Okay. Well. Not the pig. I need to talk to you, buy 2 safes. One will be in my main base, the other will be in the pig. Just so that then, if I do need something that I keep in the safe, I have it on me, but it's not taking up a more valuable spot in inventory. Yeah. Now, out of where I will keep the safe, exactly, I could have it in my tree, but I think in the storage area is better. Besides, if memory serves, I can place the pig on top. Oh. Well, I can still place the pig on top. Okay, so now I can put all of the important but not loot relevant stuff in the safe. So all my fishing stuff, any mob spawn tokens that I want to use for farming, the imp staff, because generally after I summon it once, I don't need to have the staff on me. The ballista rod, which I need to do the old one's army. Painting supplies, actuators, which I will need to use soon. I do have silk, but that's because I keep forgetting to grab it when I'm building NPC stuff far away, because I take my crafting tables with me to build NPC houses, since I don't know off the bat what I'm going to need. And that always leads me to forgetting something important. Like, oh, I'm actually trying to give this NPC a livable house. They may not use the bed, but I don't care. And I just realized I forgot to grab an extra bucket, or just grab the lava bucket I already have. And I'm going to use stone slabs since I like how they look. I mean, it's not like I use it as a main building material at all. Now, I'll just turn this entire thing, or as much of it as I can, into stone slabs. Yeah, no, make it all. Might as well, since I have an entire chest devoted to stone. So no sense in not using whatever the lowest stack number was. Okay. Now to think about how big to make the volcano trap. Since I don't remember how big it has to be so that then a single bucket of lava doesn't toast any of your items. Okay, right now, safety box. I need it to be that tall. I guess I don't need to worry about how long it is, as long as I make sure I expand it if it's too much. So, expanding's easier than reducing its size. And for now, I need to see how bad it is. If that's good enough, then okay. But I can't remember if money's immune to being burned or not. Okay, no, that is enough. If I could tighten it up a bit, I would probably be in a better situation. But for right now, I need it to be... So that's 3, that would be 4. Okay. So that tells me exactly how high it has to be. Technically, I could probably get away without making it this tall. But bugger it. I could lower it down a block. But I generally like to have it taller since I know that mobs won't be able to escape. Oh. Kind of went on autopilot for building there. Besides, I always use this general setup with the leading off and having a block to stand on right here. Since I found by having a spike there, it was hard to manage for myself. Just didn't really make any sense. And I realized I actually could make it 1 lower. Since I forgot the block it was on. So there's that. And then I have this. Which, okay. I'm not the most knowledgeable in setting up stuff like this. Generally, if I have to farm something, I do it by hand, which isn't always the best way of handling things. But I always found it relaxing to just let my mind go and just rely on mostly instinct for playing the game. Whoop. Ah. It occurs to me I should really have made a peace candle. And I'm having trouble now since I need it to be symmetrical. Okay. So... how did I... Is it because this side is technically focused on having a 1 block higher area? Not area. So technically, at this point, I should have... yeah. It's because I... I don't really know how to explain what I messed up on, besides just, I did it wrong. I wish there was just some way to hold down a button to view the ruler. that's... Is it because... there's an unevenness? Okay, let me figure this out. So, starting from the top and working out. Roller on. So, it goes one block in, one block up. Bugger off, enemies. I would like... should have really made that peace candle. Then... there we are. And I messed up because I'm going to have to break my way out quickly. Since I need a fast way in and a fast way out, I am annoyed at the antics that I have to deal with while building this. Get into the flaming pit that I made if you are going to fall on me. So, I just need a way in. And I personally enjoy doing this kind of setup. But I didn't make a lever to allow me to pop it. So... that's wired up, but I... okay, so I can get it set up so that... I forgot. Get it set up so that then I have a lever on that side. I don't like when they connect the way that they did. Okay, so I can have a lever. I can have a lever here, that should make... I'm not sure if that will work the way I want it to. Wiring in Terraria has always been a thing for me. Generally, I have trouble figuring out how its logic gates work, or even how to make them. And I mean, I'm knowledgeable about logic gates. It's what I went to school for. Well, not completely. Just logic gates, but electronic technologies major. Or so, my knowledge is on electronics, and those use logical gates to handle varying processes. So I should know what I'm talking about with a gate, but certain things make it difficult. Especially when the game itself has ways of building up the gates, but they're extremely complicated. Instead of having something simple, like a single block that acts as the gate. But I can manage. If it doesn't work the way I think, then I just have to handle it a different way. And it works exactly as I thought. It just toggles that, then a flip-flop. Ah, God. I always forget about hoiking. always forget about it, and I end up getting myself caught into a weird situation. So, now the spawner is set up. The only thing that I need to do is get some of the dart traps. And I sadly sold a bunch of dart traps, and then I lost them because I didn't have the chance to correct my mistake. I should really desummon the imp if I want to collect anything here. But at the same time, I don't mind. And I should take the time to check the area since, yep, exactly what I was looking for. Or to see if any were just out and about. If I can grab more wiring for free, then I don't have to worry about buying anything from the mechanist. And I do still need to take care of the rest of clearing this out. For all I know, I'm fine, and all of this down here isn't reducing any of the spawn rates when I'm up there. At least, I don't think it does. But I should be careful anyway. And besides, I don't want to flood my elevator again. I've been doing it constantly in the emptying of this giant space. So, not having the elevator become waterlogged would be nice. Especially since I spent so long getting all of the torches set up again. Now all I have to worry about is whether or not my spawner is safe enough to use in hard mode. And my elevator walls are out of dynasty wood, at least for that. I just need to temporarily put up something to at least manage any possible water. Since why take a chance with changing it out later? I should really finish it up before I work any more on stuff from hard mode. Since it'll only make it harder to work on the area, and besides, I need to make a box to change the biome. Or really a couple boxes. Because if I can stack a couple of biomes onto each other, then I could really get some of the valuable materials that I want. Like, if I can stack jungle and the tainted biome on top of each other, then I'd probably be able to grind a fair few things that I need for hard mode specifically. Worms there, and I'll just change them over immediately. No sense in not changing them over. Have the actuators in there. I need to refill the bucket of lava, so that then I have a bucket of lava. But for right now, not going to worry about it. and I'm just going to sell the normal bombs. I don't see the point in using normal bombs besides for earlier in the game when you can't just buy loads of dynamite. Oh, yeah. That. The 2 remaining eyes. Okay. So I will have fought 10 Eyes of Cthulhu after these eyes. At least during the grind. Otherwise, it's closer to 11. Aside from the yo-yo I could get from the I'm trying to remember any other yo-yos I could possibly get. I think there's one more yo-yo I could get. And I know that certain things stop dropping if you change into hard mode. Like, the cascade stops spawning once you're in hard mode. Or at least, I've been told that happens, but I'm not too sure myself. Because if the same enemy that normally drops it is still there, there's no sense in it just not appearing. Talk about classroom stuff. I generally don't go melee because of the whole, oh, well, you gotta get close to the enemy, and that can be difficult. Or, if you're unlucky, will lead to an early death in the fight. And thus, if it naturally spawned, you then have a problem of, well, you just fought the naturally spawned boss and failed. So now you gotta either get the materials to summon it, or you have to try your best to meet the conditions again, unless it's a constant condition. Like, for Skeletron, if you fail it once, you have to wait for the old man to spawn again. And you have to wait for the next night. Which, usually, those happen at the same time. And so, you just really have to wait for the next night. But for something like the Crimson and Corruption bosses, you then have the added condition of you either have to break the altars or make the summoning token. Or, not altars, the hearts/orbs. I think I'll just put the boss mask in a separate thing. And that can be a pain. Especially if you really want to try and progress. So let's see. I just need to fight a bunch of the Slime King to be able to get his trophy. I already have the brain. Got Queen Bees. So all I'm missing are Skeletron, Slime King, and the eventual Wall of Flesh. So, I'm going to take this time to build up the potion area. since I've been putting that off for far too long. And hey, I might as well work on something that I don't normally do on stream. I don't think building is that enjoyable to watch for stream unless you really enjoy watching the person, since oftentimes it's hard, at least for me, it's hard to try and stream my thought process and put it into words. Oh, cool, I have some dart traps. I didn't think that I did. Okay, so grab the planters. Really wish that they... And I've said this in a previous stream. I wish that the bestiary and emote window actually moved down when you hit rename. Because otherwise you end up hitting one of them. And it's just a minor thing, but it irritates me that that doesn't happen, since that would just be quality of life so you don't end up accidentally activating one of them. And traveling merchant is here. Okay. Might as well head off to see him, since I don't know what he sells. Might be something I need. Might be just something I don't need. Okay. Yeah, not really anything I need. I'll grab the mystic robes just to have them. Katana, because I don't think I have one, and panda ears, because I don't believe I have them. I thought I bought a pair of panda ears, but evidently not. Also, I kept the loom here for some reason. Same with my extra living loom. Oh yeah, the extra living loom is so that I can make walls on the fly. I'll pop back over to the main base area. And I now need to store what I just bought. And I already have... I got a loom from one of the underground houses, so I just have an extra one. But I don't just want to leave things that I don't really need out. Okay, that in there. Ninja hoods. Mining pants. Wizard hat. Yeah. I want to keep things down to only really one copy, since it just kind of gets difficult after a while to store more than that. Oh, wait. Up here. There we go. Katana goes into the melee chest. Yeah, I'll take... Wow. 2 superior rallies. Yeah, with the melee, that is just for bulk storage. Since for melee, you don't have any sort of greater sorting that you can do besides type. Like, you could have a separate chest for yo-yos, a separate chest for standard just swing the weapon, or a standard or chest, or sorry, another chest for, let's see, maybe weapons that have projectiles. Never really gave it much thought on how I would sort melee weapons. So, let's grab that. And a shine potion just so that then, in case it gets a bit dark, because I try to take care of the walls. generally I seem to have problems figuring out if the stream is too dark or not. So, hedge my bets. So, in thinking about this, I probably want to do something like there. Yeah. This should be good. I don't want to double up on wall, nor do I want to use the same wall. So a little corridor is just what this needs. So right over here you get another 3 by 3, and then in between the 3 by 3s, it's just going to be 2 blocks up. Then the third one's going to be a flooring block. As for the walls, actually, I want to do the same for the walls. Or, not the walls, the upper area. Since I don't want the upper area, or the ceiling. There we go. I don't want the ceiling to be too uninteresting. There we are. Besides, if it's all one block on the ceiling, it kind of gets lost. And I think that detracts from the rest of the build. Besides, I have this underground bunker kind of vibe from this. So, now to figure out the rest of the parameters of building this. So first, how tall do I want it? I think I go more of a shallow top for this. So, probably just that tall. Not as much as the other two areas. And I need it to hold only 10 blocks length from the walls. But if I want to have a nicer walking space, like 2 platforms in, then let's say 2 more blocks in, so that's my 2 platforms, then that's my 2 blocks. So from here, I need to extend it out until I'm at a point where 10 blocks would be able to fit, and then have it mirrored on the other side. Then I need to figure out what blocks I want to have for the siding. And to explain a bit more, these 2 slabs right here are just placeholders. So, like, I could probably do something like biome specific. Same with the wall right behind the planters. I could probably go biome specific for that. So, starting off, Daybloom, a very useful plant. Yeah, 10 blocks isn't that much. So maybe I could make it longer and just double down. Also, I forget that planters themselves can effectively be used as platforms, which, interestingly enough, would be able to make interesting arenas, and you could use them for nice decoration. Like, this would allow you to have a more natural looking arena if you're going for a vibe of, like, your character's more of a druid. So they use their druidic powers to build stuff up. Now, personally, I would like to be able to move between platforms easily. So maybe... So, that there. I think I want to extend it out to 20. So... I will just have it be this kind of situation, where you have the 10, then you have the 20. And yeah, that's allowed me to use the space that I've already dug, so I don't need to fill it in again. But also, I now have doubled what I thought I would need, meaning I'm going to have to buy 10 more planters. But I have also given myself the opportunity to add a bit more to this. So, with that, I probably want to use more natural blocks for this. The only problem is, for the Deathweed, I'm not really sure what block to use, since I don't want to use Crimson blocks. Mostly out of fear of having stuff spread out of control. This needs to go down to here. That. I didn't really need to destroy that block. I just needed to get a clear view. Now I do need to fill this back in. And you know what? I'm going to do something unlike what I did with the other builds. I'm going to have this one also with a different top. Get that rounded off, get that rounded off. Then for planters, I definitely want to have the 3 blocks in between. That means I have maybe 1 or 2 more planters that I'd have to buy 20 of that I haven't seen yet. So I'm going to base it off of the world I have, going from the center out. So next would be Waterleaf, then Moonglow, then Corruption. So Waterleaf, okay. I kind of forgot that I had used the Shine Potion. So then it was Moonglow and Deathweed. And I should have gotten this set up sooner, since I've just been using potions that I found through looting, and that has incentivized me to explore a lot more, but it's also been at a huge detriment to myself, since generally I haven't been too diligent. I used the wrong one. Okay, there's the Moonglow Planter, then you have the Deathweed. Blinkroot and Shiverthorn, since those are on the other side of the world, I will place... Well, Blinkroot is below, so I'll just have it below everything else. And since Shiverthorn is on the left and beyond a Crimson biome, it actually works out. And I think this is a nice way of organizing the planters. I mean, I guess one way you could have your planter set up is... Oh. That's not far enough. I'm really having trouble building this out correctly. At least now. So yeah, 3 blocks in between each of these, just because I want to have the feeling that instead of just like walking in front of them, they're walking through them, just as a, oh yeah, they aren't actually walking on them, they're walking like behind. I mean, sadly the plants don't reflect that, and it instead looks like you're walking in front of it. So that's actually more of a platform. But I don't mind. Besides, it's better than what I could do, which is have each of these separated by one more block and have them each on the block that the biome that the planter fits biome-wise, which would be a nice idea, but then it makes it hard to set up a movement that's faster than just having the planters set up the way they are. I mean, I hope what I'm saying makes sense, and how I'm building makes sense as well. Like, I'm basically using the planters as the main platforms to move between them, instead of actual platforms. So I should make room for, or at the very least, the fire plant that I'm constantly forgetting the name of. But I'm not sure if there's another plant that I've forgotten that I just didn't have the Dryad sell yet. You know, the little background stuff always made me think that that told you if a natural spawning event were to happen soon. Like how the Eye of Cthulhu flies around in the background. I always thought that meant, oh, the Eye of Cthulhu is going to spawn soon. But no, that's never the case. Okay, do I have an extra crafting bench? I probably do. Oh yeah, I should probably sell all these once. Or, at least the mahogany ones. Since I generally don't need that many. Furniture. Yeah, I have a bunch of crafting benches. And it's mostly because I keep forgetting to bring one with me or pick one up that I've already crafted. Okay. Just going to quickly get that set up. And that. So then what flooring would I like to use? Oh. Okay. Yeah, what flooring would I like to use? I'm thinking something I know. I don't like how Shadewood looks when it comes to most things. How does Dynasty Wood interact with this? I should just use it over here. Honestly, not that bad. I can get behind that. As a ceiling, now I know what I want for the ceiling. Same with what I want for over there. So let's just hope I have enough. Have that. And I thought I had some glass left over. Yeah, I have enough sand. Let's make a bunch of sand. Then yellow gemspark block, otherwise known as topaz gemspark block. This is mainly what I want to use for in here as a like artificial sun for, or in case it's not a great day outside, and maybe I think I'll grab emeralds and use those instead. Oh yeah, I have a crafting table over here. So, yeah, I think that works. It adds light to an area. And it adds this kind of futuristic style, or at least more advanced. So, let's just toss stuff into the pig. And now, to figure out more about this. I mean, mainly, I need to grab that iron and make 2 more gates. Which I always forget where you make them. Thankfully, the sawmill. I thought it could have been the heavy workbench, but no. Okay. Now that that's done, I need to figure out the rest of this, and I could probably just go with the rest of it being a brick wall. But then again, I wouldn't mind a glass wall. Almost like a way to view the outside world from here. So it's more of a... like, if I were to essentially bring the ground level down a bit, this would probably just be... like, it would feel more like a built into the area research base. Which, honestly, I don't mind the thought of. Now, the only problem, I need to go back to the Dryad and buy more. So, I'll need 10 more of everything she has currently. And if anything more spawns, I need to buy 20. So, well, I'm already doing pretty bad at buying just 10. So let me just organize this immediately. So you, then the Shiverthorn, then you. Then the Fire Flower, and if there's anything past that. House is generally closer. You know, I looked at what the Dryad sells. I can just look at what she has. So, don't need the second type of Deathweed. And yeah. Okay. There is no plant after the Fire Blossom. Thanks to looking up what the Dryad sells, I now know the name of the flower. And will soon forget it because my memory is terrible. Especially when tired. But then again, everybody's memory is bad if they haven't gotten enough sleep. Since your brain's functions are impaired or by a lack of sleep. And that causes general personality trait difference as well as a couple of other factors. Namely, a harder time for processing any sort of higher brain function. The biggest one being a harder ability to remember. So, reduced short-term memory and lack of ability to transfer memories over to long-term. So now, what would be best for this? I think I just put the wood away. Stone. Regular stone in there. So I think to theme it, and I do now realize I forgot to clear out this, and yeah, traveling merchant again. That's actually a surprise. He's usually not around immediately. another guy has left. Probably not immediately after, but definitely not used to him being back so soon. Out of everything, I have finished the grinding area. I'm almost done with... Oops. I'm almost done with the potion plants. All I need to do is increase my boss arena size, move the 2 NPCs who are still in the very first housing thing I have made for NPCs, as well as just dismantle that to improve the arena further, fight the old one's army, then wall flush. Okay, so there's the Gi, I already have it. Code 1, I believe I already have that. Bamboo Leaf, there's the 1 platinum I'm going to use. Oh, it's so adorable. And I don't normally use pets, so... Like, in a usual run, I would have a pet that suits the character or playstyle, or the personality I figure they have or would have. If I'm not too sure about the character at all, I just kind of make a guess. So, right now this character that I have is so unknown to me. Like, normally, when I play Terraria, I have a clear idea of the character. But since this is my personal character, and originally I was going to stream the world building process, or really anything of this world, I haven't really given much thought. And I kind of feel bad since for a couple of other Terraria streams I have in mind, I've thought about doing class-specific runs. Like, I've already got the character set up, and I've already started to work on figuring out what I want to do with those characters. Mostly in the way of figuring out motives and story. Since I think it's important to figure out exactly what the character would be like. And I mean, I've actually thought about whether or not I would want to do something in line with like a Happy Days style story for the character, or more a roleplay situation where I play out a normal Terraria playthrough as the character. Like, actually trying to be the character, rather than just, oh yeah, I'm technically the one in control, but it's not a proper emphasizing as the character. Like, I am not playing as the character. I'm not playing as the character in character. I'm playing as the character as myself. And I completely forgot what I needed to do to make mud into bricks. I think I needed cobblestone. And I keep calling it cobblestone. When it really isn't. Eh, 5's fine. I can deal with that. Oh, wait. Going with mudstone was a good idea. I could go with that and use some jungle seeds for that. Since generally it won't lead to this place becoming a biome since it has no ability to spread. Like, for the underworld, I would... Actually, yeah, I would use ash blocks. For the... Yeah, I'm just going to grab 4 from that. 4 from that. And get things swapped over. So, I kind of wanted it to be orderly, but at the same time, I'd like to have it be like, oh yeah, with the planters, I'm giving the plants closer to their natural environment feel. So, let's see, what else could I do? I need to do this at the very least, since I need to keep up what I have at the top, same with the bottom. And I could have it be like a couple of benches down here, or so that then it's like a little nature park. I might have to... You know what? I don't need to worry about the arena being made any bigger until I'm in hard mode. And hopefully I don't get my usual chain of events to happen. Since, for me, usually when I play Terraria and I start hard mode, I'm able to get the ores to spawn, but as soon as the hard mode ores spawn, the mech bosses decide I shouldn't have a chance to get the ores, and instead I need to fight them now. But I am going to try and make things a bit more interesting for myself, and have it so as I'm fighting the bosses, for the mech bosses specifically, I will be fighting not in the best armor, but with armor nonetheless. It's like, why wouldn't you? Unless you're doing a crazy challenge run in trying to beat Terraria without having armor. Not like a defense value, but armor. So let me just put that away. And that away. So let me grab the crimstone. And this is the one that I will turn into a brick. Because I know the bricks don't try and change the biome. And you know what? You need to be over here. And I need to grab these. So now I'm going to have the biome wood specific lamps on the side to allow for decent lighting. Let's try and find more. I could use a cactus lamp for the desert. Oh, I really should, but I don't think it looks nice. Besides, you can find water leaf at the ocean, so it makes sense to use a palm. Okay, so there and there. You get those rich mahogany lamps here. Boreal wood lamps. Then the underground, since there isn't a specific lamp for the underground, instead I'm going to use some of the carriage lanterns. Seeing as I made my underground houses focusing around those because I like how they look. Not entirely focusing around them, just more. I like these lanterns since generally they feel like they would be used in an underground setting. So now I just need to grab the seeds. So Daybloom. Water leaf. Nope, those are mushrooms. Do I not actually have any water leaf? Nope, I do. I just didn't think they were that color. Moonglow, Deathweed, Shiverthorn, Blinkroot. And I do know that each plant has its own blooming condition, and even though a plant may be fully grown, if I don't wait for the blooming condition, I don't get seeds back. And generally I get less of a return. The annoying part would be harvesting the deathweed. Did I plant that in the right spot? Yeah, that should be the Shiverthorn. No. Okay, so I can't. Those were Moonglow seeds. Those were Moonglow seeds. Already, lack of sleep is getting to me. But I will persevere, and hopefully things will be made more entertaining. As a result of sleep deprivation leading to funny moments. So I will take those. them on the jungle blocks. Then I need just some dirt from the regular dirts, and I could have used crimson seeds for this. I realize that. But I still have the fear that it would be able to jump. So I'm not going to do anything with that. In this case, I'm being very controlled about this. Very cautious. Now, I do need to get a radar. And from my memory, the radar with the water boots, if you haven't found any in a chest yet, you're realistically only going to be able to find them from fishing. Not as requests, just as crate rewards. And I do need to talk to the angler. Or get more quests done, since... Annoyingly, he's one of the NPCs that has stuff that I want to get. Okay, and a type of desert fish. I'm not going to be able to get one in time, probably. Yeah, no. It would be futile to try to get the fish. Instead, I will use... Oh, nope, not the shadow key. That. I'll sell off the wands right now. And if I need to, I can fish. And thankfully the mechanic sells her fishing rod. Pre-hard mode. I thought that was only a hard mode thing. So, surface forest. Do I actually have a place in the surface forest? Yes. Unless that just counts as surface. And not actual forest. I assume it is the forest biome. Since the background changed. I should have brought a fishing potion, but I don't see a reason. And I've already set up a chest to store quest fish, so I can just keep fishing and get some extra quest fish. At least this is happening during the day instead of at night, like the last time I was fishing. I really don't care for fishing in this. My only other problem would have to be the annoying interruption of enemies. Oh, raining. That means Waterleaf is blooming right now. And this also means that fishing power is increased, I believe. This is why I don't really care about the imp summon. It generally shows that the wasp can be a better summon. If that would have been a quest fish instead of a bass, I'll never know. Oh yeah, the imp's movement near water seemed really weird. I've noticed it likes to end up going under the water. Well, it shoots. Well, two more. And then I will be good. I catch 6 fish specifically so that then I have 5 in reserve. It just makes the most sense. Rather than catching like 3, end up having a bunch of quests of that fish. And interestingly enough, and this is probably just complete coincidence, but the angler seems to only ever want fish that I don't bulk catch. I mean, it's clear that it's not a setup of the angler's able to know that you have stocked up quest fish. And it's probably just chance. But it definitely feels like he knows. Oh, there we are. I didn't think an antlion would spawn in the ocean biome. Yay. He's the sole reason I have never gotten the PDA. As soon as I get close to having all the materials for it, like just one away, the angler just decides, yeah, good luck with that, I'm not helping you. I wouldn't be surprised that he is designed to be the most infuriating NPC to have to deal with. And yeah, there's the aglet. And so, in the regular crates, you can end up getting rewards for items you would normally find in chests underground. Like the radar, aglet, and other such items that generally you don't really need except for crafting upgraded trinkets. And because it is a fish, I'm going to put the pufferfish in here. Even though it would be an accessory, and I sometimes call accessories trinkets, I'm not exactly sure why I do that, it's just something that I end up doing a bunch. Okay, those in there. Yeah, no. I was going to sell some of the healing potions, but honestly, I'll just leave it. I will sell the lower level mana potions, and because I have the regular healing potions, I'm not going to worry about keeping the low rank stuff. So, I did thankfully find a Staff of Regrowth. So, that'll help with farming. I don't like turning on the auto swing, since generally it, or not auto swing, auto place. Since auto placing seems to really hate when a fully grown plant exists. Okay, so in mob drops, I'll need to put the Scattered Cloth, Staff of Regrowth. Honestly, I should grab the wood and make not really sure what would be better. I'll just make an item frame. That way I can store it in here. So, I do, of course, excuse me, need to do more for the potion brewing area. Or I call it that because I normally have the alchemy table right next to where I'm able to make a lot of my potions. Of course, not having a fishing area is a problem, so I'll probably expand out more and have another section where I can just have a fishing spot. Probably don't want a biome changing fishing spot this close to the main village. But I'm not really sure what else I could do. Let me look this over. I think my mob area is good. My arena needs work, but that's a non-issue, really. I can advance it when I have better wings, so that then I know what I'm going to need to do. Can't make a Duke Fishron arena yet, because I would like to get the Blendomatic. Yeah, my fastest way to the underground would be through the pylon, but annoyingly, I built my cavern area in a way that I have no easy way out from where I have the NPCs. It's good at keeping monsters out, since generally they'll only spawn down in this area. And as long as I'm not there, they don't seem to die. So I'll just head down the elevator, head to the Wall of Flesh arena that I have prepared in advance. It's not big, is the thing. I feel like I should make it bigger, but I'm not sure how much bigger I need to make it. Plus, I need to farm for the Cascade. As well, I need to get the Skeleton Merchant to spawn, so that then I can get myself a counterweight. Then, as soon as hard mode starts, I really need the Traveling Merchant to spawn and have the code 2, as well as a yo-yo glove. So, I just need to wait until the merchant spawns. And I'm not sure the best way to get that done. Since I would like counterweight beforehand. And besides, this will be a good way to grind up for some money. Sadly, it's not going to be that enjoyable to watch, since it's just going to be me sitting in a protective box. One thing I could get done... I mean, I could get it done in hard mode. It would just be a pain to get done. Is for the places I have my NPCs, aside from the jungle, just like, mostly it's the desert I have to worry about. If that gets hollowed over, I'm not sure about how the arms dealer and dye trader feel about the hollow. Plus, the Crimson will start moving much faster. And I haven't set up anything in the ice area. So, I'd probably end up bombing that down a fair ways. And over here down a fair ways. I mean, it would have to get by the tree, so I would probably head down the Living Wood tree and bomb from there down. So then it has... For the Crimson, it would have to go through a lot to get the ice biome. So, now the question is... What's my best chances of getting the skeleton merchant to spawn? Honestly, knowing my luck, he'll never spawn since I acknowledged that I needed him. I don't really know of any other way to get a counterweight. And there's a chest nearby. I could explore that since, I mean, technically, I do still need a radar, and it wouldn't hurt to explore. I mean, it would hurt to explore. I could find a trap chest and end up blowing myself up again. I mean, normally I have a good chance of disarming traps, but I have an equal chance to accidentally set it up and have forgotten exactly what I disarmed. No. I'll just head down, and since I know the skeleton merchant could spawn close by to the top of the underworld, I don't really think I'm in a bad way to try and find him. And he still sells what I need him to sell in hard mode. It would just be easier to get it now, and definitely more useful to me if I were to get it now. Not being impatient, just generally, I don't want to try and find him in the hard mode underground, since higher chance for him to die and higher chance for me to die. So I just see it as, it's better for both parties to just find each other early on. Besides, I have this interesting spawn for a minecart. If it wasn't for the fact that I'd have to move so many ash blocks, it would probably make a good wall of flesh area. Mostly because I know the wall of flesh prioritizes staying above ash blocks, so you can technically force him up higher so long as you have the right amount of ash blocks. And I see that mushroom. I would like it so that then I can make dyes. And part of what I need to get done is explore more of this side of the underworld. Since it doesn't really do me any good if my wall of flesh fighting arena is just too short. And of course, I forget to take out the shadow key. Pick up the safe, plop it away. Oops. Yeah. Since I've found myself needing silk more than I thought I would, I generally don't want to give up any cobwebs. And okay, Shadow Mimic. And of course there's a godly Sun Fury. When you decide that maybe, just maybe, you'd like to use the yo-yo again, the game just kind of says, yeah, no, I see what you'd like, but how about this? It's always an interesting thing to experience for Terraria. Have the game say, well, I know you're having fun with that, but you could have had this. It is equally interesting as it is infuriating. Seeing as, out of everything, having the game say, yeah, you just decided to use this type of weapon, so I'm going to now give you all the amazing stuff that you're going to miss because you decided only to go with one thing. But if you go with everything, the game's just going to be like, yeah, you're just going to get nothing great, since you're trying to hedge your bets way too much. Why? Oh yeah, the type of path I'm constructing is just my personal favorite for when building the Wall of Flesh arena, since I don't have to worry too much about magma slimes. And I can generally adjust it so that then I can let well, I designed it so that I can let lava through for the expert mode lava slimes. But that wasn't what I was going to say. What was I going to say? I think generally I build it this way so that I can easily adjust it. So if I need campfires and other such helpful blocks, like sunflowers for the extra speed boost, as well as mob spawn reduction. So, the main thing would be I just expand one of the one tile things in over so that then it's now 3 tiles long. And that allows me to have the safer arena, since then, oh hey, the lava's immediately gone and it's not going to chase after me, or I'm not going to have to worry too much about, oh hey, that lava slime just destroyed the campfire. Since I'll place the campfire below the platform. Oh yeah, another traveling merchant. A lot of them spawn when I'm working in the underworld. And it kind of irritates me since I don't have a chance to see what they sell. And if I'm exploring the underworld and really getting into exploring, I end up in a situation where it's just, well, you miss out on a lot of stuff you'd probably enjoy. Or a lot of the rare things he sells. Like, I would love to get the building pack, since that would make a lot of my projects a lot easier. Namely, the placing down walls that require paint to mix with everything else. Oh, I need... Sure, yep. That's good. So yeah, as a thing that I do for the Wall of Flesh arena, I never make it so that then I can end up accidentally having an item drop. Like, say, the doll. And yeah, technically, I could still accidentally summon the Wall of Flesh with this design, and it's not the best, since it still offers the chance for a block to break, and it's mostly just to deal with lava slimes and what I think is most important, preservation of materials. Since if you don't have the materials to make a long arena that is full of blocks, well, what do you do then? You need to cut out as much as you can. And I just feel that this arena works. I genuinely thought that butterfly was one of the fire bats. I now kind of feel bad for decimating it. Come on, please drop the cascade. I think that's the one that I'm looking for. Or from the fire bats. I think. I'm not 100% certain. So quick stack, and then no. I do need to deposit all. Since I can't really keep everything on my person. Oh, cool. Hot dog. I like that enemies just drop food items, and some of it makes sense. Others are just hilarious. Okay. I'll say this does take longer to get set up, since you have to meticulously remove each and every other block. So, it's definitely not the fastest way of setting up an arena. I will say it is the safest for dealing with the lava slimes, as I repeatedly said. But also, you can place banners without the worry of them being taken out by anything, aside from a bomb. I mean, considering how tough the underworld can be, and yeah, I do leave some 3 long spots. Since I don't want to dig through an entire pillar, since I'm just lazy. Sure, the platform itself takes more work to build than just making a long runway. But I'd still rather not have to dig through a pillar. And in this case, I should, because then I get more building materials, since I'm just tearing apart the obsidian buildings for building materials, since I didn't bring any. All because I realized, oh yeah, I need to extend the runway. That should be good. And for the long diagonal path, I could cut stuff out of it. And for longer ones, I have. But for shorter ones, I don't really see the point. I mean, I could do the every other block, and it does, but I also feel like I'm being slowed down by doing it. And sadly, any natural spawn terrain is a pain. So normally I want to avoid it as much as possible, as any lava slime can just come along and add to my troubles by just filling up the little lava bucket I now have. I would have loved to get this done off stream so that then I'm not boring anyone with the build process. And I could make the end all nice and flashy. since I have to break in anyway to just get to the next building and just get through it, might as well grab as many blocks as I can from opening up a way. Yeah, conservation of building materials at work. And besides, if I take out the walls here, I'm okay with this because they're directly in my way as well. When fighting the wall of flesh, I don't really want anything getting in the way of my ability to attack. Oh, didn't go far enough. And again, not far enough. That time, since I was on autopilot, just removing blocks, I might as well remove as much annoyance as possible. And again, having walls with doors helps for a Wall of Flesh arena, especially expert mode, since it should block the hungries, but also then you aren't under constant laser fire. But unless you're using a yo-yo, the wall's also detrimental to you. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah. Fire Blossom. They just seem to, bloom during random times. But if I'm correct, it's because they bloom during sunset. And if that's not the case, then I'm not really sure when they bloom, since I never really paid attention. Nope. Getting the gear out of there. This is why I dislike expert mode lava slimes. They are a nuisance. With their spawning of lava. Especially in the process of looting. Who wants to deal with lava raining down on their head when they're looting? Or have their loot submerged and as such deleted? I was contemplating whether or not it would be easier to just let the clock live, or whether it needed to be destroyed. Okay, now time to cut holes in this. Yeah, there it is. Now, after a while of working on the Wall of Flesh bridge, you kind of just forget about anything else that's going on, since your focus is survival as well as building the bridge that should keep you alive. So generally I have a ways before I'm in danger of running out of path. Especially since I'm using the buildings to my advantage and cannibalizing them for extra bridge. Except for here. Here, it's a pain. This is why I dislike lava slimes. So, now... Oh yeah, I hammer the blocks headed up into a diagonal since it makes a smoother transition. And thus, less pain. Since in the Wall of Flesh fight, you don't really want to have that momentary stutter or movement really mess with you. Especially if it's enough to throw off your aim. Bugger. I have been keeping an eye out for if the life detector says anything about the skeleton merchant spawning, or at least being nearby. That I'm fixing mostly because why not just fix it? I should have gotten this taken care of in the last Terraria stream. I mean, I kept going for 6 whole hours, so I mean, I could have just gone the entire way. Well, this is an interesting situation. Since I have to just keep going. And I'm really liking the spawn, since I haven't had any annoying giant digging project that I had to undertake. I mean, I would love to get the item that's dropped, but they seem to not want to give it up. And only they really have it. It may seem like a bad idea to keep that area as it is, since my whole bridge's design is based on counteracting the lava slimes. So, why use natural terrain? Conservation of resources and laziness. Besides, natural terrain isn't that bad, as I know when I'm over it, I'm going to just move as I would. Unless it's an hindrance, it's fine. But, since it's ash, I know that the wall of flesh will try and be over it, rather than end up underneath it, like it could end up being for a decent portion of this bridge. And if I were to make the entire bridge out of ash, then, one, I have no clue what this design would do to it. I assume that it would stay above since it's seeing the ash blocks and going, I need to stay above that, so I'm going to. Or if it would be, well, I need to stay above ash blocks, but I'm seeing a bunch of holes, and as such, I'm just going to keep dipping every time. So essentially, I could end up having the Wall of Flesh headbang during the fight. If that is how it works. My only knowledge is that it has to stay above the ash blocks. I don't like the imps. Oops. Oh. The longer I stay down here, the harder it becomes to stay defended. Since generally enemies will start ganging up, and if you're in a large enough area, you'll end up in a situation where the enemies are spawning as fast as you can take them out. And you'll slowly but surely find yourself in a bad situation because you can't keep up. But that's only an issue if you can't keep up. If you can, then, well, you're just going to get a lot of money. Yep, there's a banner that doesn't really matter, since that's just an enemy spawn because I'm close enough to the top. I will say at least the underworld is well lit. Or at least lit up enough that you can see what you're doing. When did I get a plumber's hat? Doesn't matter. I will say, in using the yo-yo, I realize why I don't really use it. My general disdain for any weapon that has the ability to be controlled, but is slow. And it's mostly from a frustration in keeping myself safe using it. All because I can't manipulate it how I need it to be. So I end up getting hurt because, oh hey, I couldn't move a yo-yo fast enough. Did I accidentally put it away? Oh, well, that's annoying. Yeah, I did. I thought I favorited it. Another Hellwing bow. Oh yeah, and of course, pots in the other world. Break them all. Just pull an old-fashioned link and break every piece of pottery you can find. seeing as what you can get out of them is really good. The money and healing items, just perfect. So yeah. Okay. Headed back to base. Mainly to get my inventory sorted. And grab potions. Since I'll be fighting the Wall of Flesh soon. And I need to go all out. I mean, I could fight him without potions, but then that's kind of a terrible idea. So let's take that. Just everything I can. Okay. Grab a large portion of stuff. That and that go in there. Same with that. I'm not going to worry too much about duplicates. I will handle that when I need money. You know, part of me wants to just make a Hoik loop in a storage center, so then I can just circle the central chest and have a relatively large storage system that allows for quick movement through it. I don't know why I don't have restoration potions in here. I think I just sell them since they aren't as good as the bigger healing potions. And that actually does make sense to me. I still need to grab all of that, get taken care of. Lighting goes in this chest. Whenever I handle explosives in my inventory, I always fear that I'm going to mess up and end up chucking a bomb or a dynamite and end up blowing up my fancy area. That has defense, so it's technically armor. As such, it goes in the armor chest. Now, potions and food. Potions-wise, Iron Skin, Swiftness, Night Owl, Thorns, because why not? Don't need. Yes. 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 No. Oh wait, not Danger Sense, Hunters. I could use an archery potion so that then I don't have to get close to the Wall of Flesh. But I won't worry about that. And a life force potion that I got from somewhere. So just favorite all of that. Now again for food. Increases life gem, medium improvement. Right, regen, minor. All of these are minor, and I don't really think I can make anything big out of them. There might have been something that I was able to make. Oh yeah, I can turn squirrels into food. Grilled squirrel, minor improvement. Margaret. Okay, goldfish, just going to be selling it then. Selling all of that. And fish generally is a better food item. So let me grab from my options. Just as much as I can. And that just to sell, since the enchantress are only really used for selling. Okay, so I can make a seafood dinner. Never mind. Seafood dinner it is. Cooked shrimp, sashimi, and then cooked fish. I think cooked fish sells for more than the uncooked. It's minor improvements. Hence why I don't really make it. For something like the shrimp and the sashimi, that I can see as actually useful. Since medium improvements are still good, seafood dinner, I'll just bring the one since I don't want to accidentally activate all my buffs and have to rush down to the underworld, chuck the doll into the fire, and end up in a situation where, oh yeah, I'm fighting the wall of flesh. And I'm panicking because my buffs are already activated. Okay. Oh, I didn't want to sell those. Okay, money trough. I got 4 wall of flesh fights lined up. Now the question is, am I properly prepared? Now I am. Sort of. That necklace can go in here. I'm not sure what dictates the damage of the crossbows. Melee speed doesn't matter. Auto swing doesn't matter with this unless it... Yeah, I don't think that actually matters. So I'll probably bring the Skeletron gloves. Or the bone glove. Since it adds some extra. Oh, yeah. Money away. I have the bow in case of emergencies. That out of my inventory. Or that out of my hotbar. Those are in the hotbar because I shouldn't need them. I should take on the old one's army before hard mode. I really should, just because then I take out the first set of... Bugger it. I don't care about getting the old one's army done. Okay. I have all my buffs. I have my armor, my accessories, my weapon of choice. I'm just worried I'm going to need something else. gun. I could use it, but I'm not. I got a summon. I have the strongest weapon I could possibly use for my class setup. I will use this opportunity just because I honestly don't have time to travel down the elevator. Hopefully I set that back up roughly where it was before. So, now the question. Do I start from the left and go to the right, or do I start from the right and go to the left? So from the right, it stops right here. And as I go from the left... No, I think I go from the left and go to the right. Since it looks like genuinely there are less buildings to have to worry about. Oh yeah, I completely realize that I don't need to worry about the underside of the diagonal. I just do it to make it look nice. So here's hoping that everything works out. Standing upon the precipice, I toss the accursed doll into... I toss the accursed doll into the fire. Buffs are on. Okay. Okay, nope. Once again, it's a game of range. Thank goodness for all of those pots that I broke. Oh, this is not great for me. I kind of forgot the laser beams were a thing. Oh, and everything else is starting to hit. I mean, the laser beams aren't really doing all that much damage. I think it's more the fact that I have taken some early hits. And really, it is just... everything else is really starting to hit now. Especially the annoying worm thing. Come on, you're close. Or are you? Oh, this is not great. This is not great. I think I am running out of platform pretty quickly. And I kind of forgot the Hungries respawn a lot. Yep, there's the wall being a bit of a pain again. Oh my good God. This is why I was worried about the arena. The Hungries aren't that hard to take out with proper equipment, but oh my goodness. Thank you, game. You're amazing. The summoner emblem with the clockwork assault rifle. When I'm predominantly a melee-focused character. I see that you want me to go down the summoner path, and I would go that path, honestly. Since now, the Forces of Light and Dark have been released. I now have the Clockwork Assault Rifle, which generally I will not use. Like, the only reason I made an exception for the bow is because I knew some things I wouldn't be able to take on my own. Or at least not without her. Sorry. I knew I wouldn't be able to manage some things without some serious work. And as such, I had to worry about whether or not I would be able to damage something or get through the fight fast enough. So, like with Skeletron Prime, fighting him with melee is doable. I'm not saying it'll be fast or easy. So with that in mind, if I am to switch over to Summoner, I'll need to fight Wall of Flesh again for the better whip. And I'm going to need to get myself some upgraded armor. Like, let's say, some spider armor? And in doing that, I will replace the bone glove with the... let's find the Pharaoh Claws. Since the Pharaoh Claw is on their own will increase the speed in which I can use the whip. And it gives the whip's auto swing, which I don't know why auto swing on its own isn't a part of the whips. I can see a reason why, but I also can't see a reason why it wouldn't. So, at least I can farm Ichor. Huh. Oh, I forgot to bring a water candle. So that then the mob spawn even faster. Well, I'll just wait for everything to clear up a bit. Yeah, that's about good enough. I need to grab the water candle, and I need to just quickly sell this. Yeah, no, actually, I'll keep that handgun, since you need one to make the Phoenix Blaster. And normally I go with, like, range and summon together. But I'm not going to do that this time around. I just kind of see it as, okay, you're mixing two pretty interesting classes together. And it's honestly really damaging to have a summon and back it up with ranged attacks. just because bows scale amazingly into the late game. And summons, well, with the Empress of Light, you kind of get a summon that trivializes Moonlord, if you know what you're doing. And it just kind of feels like, wow, Summoner's got a pretty absurd boost in ability. And I've already used up all my battle potions, so I wanted to see if I had gotten any more. Or in the off chance that, hey, I'd probably be able to get something done. So, okay. Now, I'm not that far from the Crimson, and I got this hammer. So, it would just be a shame to not use it, you know? Just putting that out there. I got a nice new thing, and I feel like it's not living up to anything without having the chance to be used. So, let's go smashing some altars. And I'm really not sure how this works. Like, am I essentially now just in one of the deadliest combinations ever? Okay. Everything here is dangerous. Everything here is dangerous and deadly. Oh yeah, the special Crimson Jellyfish. I don't like the mushroom biome in hard mode. It is painful. Okay. I now just need to figure out where some altars are over here. Oh god. The pancakes. The flesh pancakes are here. I dislike them. I dislike them immensely. Okay, palladium. Orichalcum. Let's see what's else. Titanium! There we are. So, yeah. I generally try and go for... Oh, that's a lot. That is pain. I usually break 2 sets of altars just so that I have a good chance. Out of here. So yeah, from just being attacked by the jellyfish and the switch over to summoner, I'm not gonna worry about getting the later summoner armors after certain bosses as a general train of progression kind of thing. Instead, I'm just going to make the hollowed armor as soon as possible and hopefully live. So, since part of the V is here... Oh no. That's not great. That was what I was worried about. That my nice little forest area was going to be corrupted. Okay, everything starts to spawn. As soon as a mimic shows up, I am going to hunt it down. To try and get some good loot. I'm worried I started hard mode way too early. And honestly, I think this is a great stopping point for the stream, since I'm just going to be grinding for some loot. So, I hope you've enjoyed watching, and I'm sorry if it wasn't that amazing. I know the Wall of Flesh was a very close call at the end, and out of everything, I wish you a great day. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.